My name is Sam Pearce. I'm farming here in South County Wexford. I'm farming at 70 spring calving suckler cows, bringing everything to beef, and lambing 130 mid-season ewes. We also have some tillage, mainly winter and spring barley, to keeping all the grain and straw for our own use. And in 2021 I joined the Future Beef programme. In terms of grassland management then, well, at the minute cows and calved cows are out by day, back in at night, and we have about 30 yearling cattle out. Normally I suppose we like to try and get out first week of February, a little bit delayed this year due to the rain, but cows and calves are still going out every day. Paddocks around the yard are good and dry, so that's pretty much on track. If the weather stays good, we'll let more yearling cattle out maybe the end of this week. So in terms of the spring rotation planner, we followed a pasture base, so I'll try and have about 30% grazed by the 1st of March and then be starting the second rotation on around the 10th of April. Every year is different, but give or take it'll be around that day. I suppose spring rotation planner breaks up the farm into different chunks and allows you to graze a certain target at the end of each week, month, then at the end of the first rotation. We'll lay out extra cattle now at the end of this week to catch up on the grazing. I start off by grazing lowish covers to train them to the grazing process at the start of the year, and then gradually move into hoover up the heavier covers then once they're acclimatised to being outside. When we start off grazing, I suppose, well, cows and calves will go to the near ones by the yard that are good and dry. It'll hold up the cows if it's wet, and then young stock go to grazing ground. We'll avoid going to silage ground first, do that in the middle, and maybe target the lower covers, especially if we're trying to catch up. Sure, I'm a high demand dry farm, we have a very high stocking rate in the spring, so the plan would be to start with a bit of protected urea, maybe 15 units. Ground conditions will want to be excellent and at least 7 degrees soil temperature with good sunshine to optimise growing. And I'll be using the protected urea because obviously it's cheaper per unit of N spread and better for the environment in terms of emissions. After the protected urea, we'll follow up with an 18612. The 18612 will be the second round of fertiliser, so maybe that'll probably be into April before that is applied. The plan for the slurry will be to put it all back to silage ground. We'll be spreading about between 3 and 3,500 gallons of slurry on the silage ground. I'll just about have enough slurry to cover all of the silage ground, and obviously that's the biggest demand for P and K. A lot of our silage ground will have red clover, so there'll be no need for chemical nitrogen on it. It'll just be slurry and that'll grow our first cut. It's reseeded ground with hybrid grass, so we'll be hoping to get 5 or maybe at least 6 tonnes of dry matter per hectare of a good first cut.